Me and my girlfriend just broke up, should I give her another chance? Hi everyone. Recently my girlfriend and I broke up. She has been complaining about me not flirting enough with her or giving her enough affection for the longest time. I would constantly try to give her everything that she was asking for to make us better and to make her happy, but it just never seemed to be enough. She wouldn't give me any form of affection at all for months because she felt as if I was not giving her any of these things. She would call me rude names, say rude things to me, say how I never change and I'm ignorant, say how she was stupid to date me, threaten to break up with me multiple times, just all sorts of things. It was hard and it got to the point where I'd get anxious every time she messaged me and I'd constantly think of the right time to flirt or give her affection 24/7 during our conversations. Last week, I tried to wake her up with something nice. I usually do this, but I guess what I said made her upset. I was telling her things like, "Thank you for being my sunshine in this dark world. I could be having the shittiest day of my life, but as soon as I talk to you my day drastically gets better." In those messages, there was one where I said this: "The thought of anything to happen between us just devastates me," and then she woke up and ignored everything I said and replied to that one comment and went off on me. Saying how I'm leading us to that, leaving me without looking back. "You're so fucking ignorant and arrogant, you think I'm asking for something too difficult." I call bullshit on your "I'm trying" card, just a lot. I told her that if we can't figure this out together then we need at least a 1-week break. It just seemed like we kept getting into arguments non-stop and maybe a break would be better so we can think about everything and take some time apart. Eventually, it led to her saying she doesn't want a break and it's better if she were to leave me. I kept asking her to just take a break and work on these things together, but she was convinced breaking up would be better, saying how she doesn't deserve me, she only makes me upset, she's not good enough for me, I'll be better off without her, etc. I kept reassuring her but she would not listen to me, so I had to just end it because what else could I do at this point? She didn't want to take a break and she was convinced breaking up would be better. Now, she's begging me for another chance, saying this was a wake-up call for her. She's realizing all the things she's done wrong and I have nothing to blame for it, it was all her. She said her IRL problems were getting in the way and she kept constantly creating problems when there were no problems to begin with, just kept saying I was enough and she loves me, very long messages and apologies and begging for another chance. I don't know what to do. I don't want to give her another chance because I don't want to feel the pain and misery I felt in the relationship, constantly feeling like I wasn't enough, holding on to the hope that if I keep working harder and giving her the things she asks for then maybe things would be better, maybe I could get a simple "I love you" without me saying it first or her going to sleep. I wasn't treated like a boyfriend. Everyone around me says it seems like I was just a punching bag. I'm ranting at this point but, yeah, I don't know what to do. Comment. People in relationships should respect each other. I would never speak to my husband that way. Disrespect leads to resentment, which leads to eventually breaking up. If you can't be in a healthy relationship where you can talk to each other, like adults, then no second chance. Hope it helps. She's an asshole, but at the same time. I was telling her things like, "Thank you for being my sunshine in this dark world, I could be having the shittiest day of my life but as soon as I talk to you my day drastically gets better." In those messages, there was one where I said this: "The thought of anything to happen between us just devastates me," and then she woke up and ignored everything I said and replied to that one comment and went off on me. This is just painful, mate, stop this Disney shit. I almost feel like life needs to hurt you so that you stop saying stuff like this. If it were me, I wouldn't give her another chance. Withholding affection and ignoring all the positive things to focus on one perceived negative is a problem. She is trying to control you and the situation/your relationship. It's hard to let go of what we know and reach out to the unknown for something else, but this is where you should head. To a future with love, respect, and kindness. Doesn't mean you will never be mad at the person you spend your life with, but how we deal with challenges defines us. Find someone who can disagree without being disagreeable. Who you described is not that by a long stretch. Next story 2. My boyfriend opened a new Instagram account after his old one almost broke us up. A little backstory. I started dating my partner 4 years ago. We meet on Instagram and he asked me out. After a few months, I agreed to go out with him. After our first dates together everything was going well until I curiously went through this Instagram messages, due to paranoia from my previous relationship, and I saw him sending pictures of his private parts to multiple women. Even asking them if they'd give him a blowjob, or planning to book a hotel to meet with them. I was in shock when I read those DMs. I couldn't believe my eyes. He was sitting right in front of me and I was so disgusted and I asked him to leave my apartment. He left. He tried to explain how he was bored and was just playing around with these women. Blah blah blah. After a month he apologized, we made peace and we continued our relationship. But deep down I have never really forgiven him, or should I say I haven't forgotten. It still hurts that I had to see him talking to other women that way. But we moved on and I became extremely untrusting of him and his Instagram page. I would go check who he's following, etc. So I unfollowed him cause it was better for my mental health. We did fight a lot though about his activities on Instagram. Fast forward to a year later. I get a DM from a girl. I opened it and it's screenshot of him asking her out for dinner after we'd had a huge fight few days prior. His excuse was that I said horrible things to him so he seeks solace in her. But this girl refused and told him that he knows he had a girlfriend so he wouldn't go out with him. After a few weeks of fighting, he apologized, we made peace and continued our relationship. I loved him, I love him, but I felt great resentment towards him. Although I had unfollowed him, I still went to his page to view his followers and it hurt me even more cause he'd follow girls and they all looked a certain way. I was not an insecure woman but he made me. I don't want to sound boastful but I'm a beautiful woman. People would stop me in places to compliment how beautiful I am. The circle continued. I check, confront him, we fight, make up and continue with our lives. That's how it went until he told me he would delete his Instagram account. He actually did, but I felt so bad for it as I felt it was kind of controlling even if I didn't ask him to. He said he preferred to delete it as it would make our relationship more peaceful and that he didn't care for Instagram anyways. So he deleted his account that I know of from 2020 until now. Few weeks ago he told me he wanted to open a new Insta page to post travel pictures. Of course I supported him and told him to go for it. And he did. But deep down, this make me so uncomfortable and it's starting to bring up old feelings of distrust and anger and resentment that never really went away. I am now feeling emotionally distant from him and I feel like sooner or later, he will go back to those ways. Am I crazy for feeling this way? I really need to know cause I can't fake it anymore. Comment. I'm baffled by the way you keep continuing the relationship. Dude messed up 3 to 4 times in the relationship and I don't know how you still have the heart to continue. The only straw that should have been a red flag to you was the first time you went through his phone and started DMing other women of his parts. This makes the stereotype true that women love bad guys and put nice guys to shame. I'm not insulting you but constructive criticizing the way you just keep letting it continue without putting to end in the relationship. You shouldn't feel bad that he deleted his IG. He thinks it makes it better for the relationship, but because you've swept it under the rug so many times, he'll know he can get away with it cause you haven't broken up yet. The real MVP is the girl who sent you the receipt of the conversation that your boyfriend was talking to. Here's your problem. You need reassurance, but you think asking for it is controlling behavior. If you don't trust your BF and resent him for lying and cheating on you, and make no mistake talking to other girls with the intent to cheat and flirting and sending nudes is cheating, then it is on him to be a fully open book with you. You should have open access to everything. If he won't give it to you and accuses you of being insecure, crazy, or toxic, then I'd leave. That's not a way to live. You deserve mental peace. Good luck. Next story 3. How do I ask my wife if she's having another affair? Hello friends. I've posted before, and received some really good advice. The short story is that we decided to work through the affair. It's been really hard, and finding a therapist that could work with our schedule has taken months, so we've only had one session. After that session she told me to stay on the couch. I recently asked her for a little reassurance that she still wants to work on our relationship, and her response boiled down to "I'm doing the counseling, what more do you want?" Everything has been terrible. Lately, she's started working a little later, she's on the phone for an extra 10 minutes when she gets home, she's more protective of her phone, and some other things that she started doing during the last affair. The thing is, I could look through her phone and try to find out for myself, but I did that last time and I wish I hadn't. I'd rather ask her and she be honest. But I'm not sure she would be truthful. I'm not looking to catch her in a lie, though I already know I can. I'm not looking to start a huge argument. I just want the truth. I want to know I'm not wasting my time and energy and all of this emotional stress. My original plan was to wait until our next counseling session, where the therapist would gauge our willingness to move forward. I figured if the therapist doesn't pick up on it, and my wife doesn't just admit to it in the session, it probably isn't happening. But then there was suddenly a work event, and she said she didn't want to stay long, but it's been over 2 hours. How can I approach her with this? I want to be empathetic and compassionate. She's my wife, the mother of my son, and the woman I love. My concerns are that she either won't be truthful, just like before, and that I come off as a crazy person thinking that all of these small things add up to another affair. I guess I don't want to be overbearing. I know being accused is a terrible feeling, and I know that feeling like I'm trying to catch her in a lie is a terrible feeling, and an excellent wedge between us. It's just eating away at me. Comment. You don't. You hire outside help to find out what is going on. You confront her without an evidence, she will become better at hiding it. If that is what's happening, you've already taken more than any normal spouse should. You are in essence dragging out the inevitable. Your marriage is already over and she doesn't respect you. The best you can do is to file for divorce and seek joint custody. You cheated on you before and looks like she is rewarding you with more cheating. Do not stay in a marriage because of kids. And when they show you who they are, believe them. Why put yourself through this? She is not special. She can be replaced. She is one of something like 8 billion on the planet. She obviously does not respect or love you. Anyone that can cheat on you, doesn't not love you, Imo.